Hey dudes!
Morning!
Welcome back to a new video.
In this video we will share 10 pros of living in Latvia.
In the next video we will talk about our cons in living in Latvia. So today we're only concentrating on the positive side.
We have somewhat dark, cloudy day, so hopefully this will cheer us up and cheer you up. Obviously this video is meant for someone who is considering moving to Latvia and who would like to know how life is in here. So hopefully this will be helpful for you to maybe get to know the country a little bit better.
So since there's 10 pros that we have to go through, let's just start with the very first one, and actually the most important one of them all. And that is that Latvia has the best crisps or chips wherever you're from in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. At least from where we have been, because Latvian crisps are full of taste, full of flavor, and cheap. And it's not something you can take for granted in other countries.
So we've traveled a couple of countries, and obviously every time we go anywhere, the first time we're gonna grab some crisps for our hotel or Airbnb or whatever, and they could just never match the pure taste of Latvian crisps. So we have our own crisp factory, Ādaži, and they make absolutely the best crisps. So we lived in Scotland, we lived in Malta, and we could just never find crisps that would be as good.
Comparable. What is your favorite crisp flavor?
My favorite crisps are with dill taste, which is quite specific, which probably only Latvia makes, I think.
I think so too.
Yeah, and yours?
Tomatoes.
And these two tastes, like a lot of companies, a lot of potato crisp companies are making, especially tomato, but they are just never the same.
No, Latvians have the best crisps. There's no even conversation about it. If you haven't tried them, go ahead, find some bag of crisps and try them whenever you have the possibility. The second pro of living in Latvia is the rent prices. As we've mentioned before, when we were looking for the apartments, we said that the range was about 200 to 400, and you can always find something in the middle, about 300 euros. So I think if not the cheapest, it's one of the cheapest rents in Europe.
If you're really wanting to just save money and go super cheap, you could get even cheaper flats, like under 100. And we also mentioned it in another video that the rent prices haven't gone up, which is great. We've been gone for 6 years and we came back and rent prices are the same.
And you can go even cheaper. If you move somewhere away from Riga, maybe like 100 kilometers away, you can find apartments starting from 70 euros a month. So if you're looking to save money, you don't care too much about where you're located, and maybe you have remote work possibilities, then this option might be even better for you.
And number 3 of pros of living in Latvia is one of our favorite things, which is thrifting and thrift shops. So Latvia has a great selection of thrift shops. They're everywhere. They're all different kinds. They have different selections, and you can get cheap clothes wherever you go.
When we moved to this apartment, we didn't have any utensils or any plates or anything, so we went to the thrift shop. We shared this with you as well, and we found all of our needs, all of the plates, pots, whatnot, and for the little price. And so not only it was better use for the things that we brought home, it also saved us a ton of money.
We started going to thrift shops back in Glasgow, and they had very interesting vintage stuff, and obviously for good prices. And then we tried some thrift shops in Malta as well, and they never compared to what we have here.
So the prices are always better here in the thrift shops. Obviously, as you would know, the thrift shop is like your best money saver, and so we went to a thrift shop a couple times, and I even picked up this cardigan here from a thrift shop from one of our first experiences when we went to thrift shops. And unfortunately this is a H&M cardigan, so it's not very sustainable or anything fancy, but it was 150, and I found exactly the same cardigan from this season, and it was 35 euros. So I'll put the image here, I even screenshot it. So I mean, getting this for the price of of 150 is amazing.
This cardigan actually as well, if we're talking about it, is from a thrift shop. It's nice and it's cozy.
It's River Island. It's really good actually.
Yeah, it was in really good condition. I can't even remember how much I paid. Like, obviously about €1 or maybe €2. So I don't know, great deals.
Now that we've been living here a little bit longer, we also found out the thrift shop working style. So for our favorite one, Humana, we actually found out that they do the big clearance sales and then everything goes for 50 cents. And we actually went to one of these because we thought we would pick up some countryside jackets while we have this option. I don't think you can find anything cheaper than 50 cents. And I would actually like to show what we picked up. For each jacket was 50 cents.
All right, let's go ahead.
So this winter jacket I have right here. Working zippers. Some pockets here with zips. And this one is Kathmandu. And I googled the company and they sell jackets for around €100. And I got this one for 50 cents. So it will be great for our gardening or whatever in the countryside.
I got this kind of cool blazer jacket, 50% wool. Also googled it. It was over €100 for a jacket like this one. Quite stylish and nice. 50 cents. So what can we...
To be honest, I think when we found this jacket, it was better looking than the jacket you actually bought in the shop.
Yeah.
So it's really good quality. It's really heavy. Yeah, you can
There's no signs of it being used before, so I don't know, a great steal for 50 cents.
And then also I got this jacket, which is parka style jacket. It has a lot of strings or whatever. And then the inside is like really warm. It's this fluffy thing. And this one is not very fancy, but it was 50 cents. So again, for going out in a garden.
Yeah.
In a spring, very nice jacket.
I got another jacket for myself, which is this one. I don't know if anyone recognizes this label because I couldn't find it. But I couldn't Google this one. It doesn't look great. It's just a regular jacket for 50 cents that I could definitely use for gardening or for, you know, fixing my car or stuff like that. Anything dirty that you just don't really care about because it's 50 cents.
Yeah, we didn't want to use our own jackets that we bought in shop for like a real money. So now we have these ones and we're very happy about that.
So if you're traveling to Latvia, if you decide to move here, definitely consider going to thrift shops for your clothing and house stuff needs. And number 4 on our list is something that we probably just started appreciating after we came back from Malta, and that is that Latvia is quite underpopulated.
When you go outside, you don't feel that crowded. You can actually move along the streets, you can go into shops, you can get on public transportation, you can walk on the street. It's completely different from how it's in Malta, and this is in the capital city. But then obviously when you're on the countryside, when you're out of the city, it's like you won't even see other people around. And this obviously comes with the benefit of that you have more options here. You can easily or more easy get job because there will be less competition for you. You can also get apartment more easy because there will be less competition, and you can find where to live, you can find your house because there's a lot of land, and depending on your budget you can find where you can put your money and buy some piece of land.
Also, you can get appointments a lot easier than in different countries. For example, back in Scotland, if you wanted to go to a doctor, there's gonna be a couple of months line for something that you need, and then you're pretty much cured by that time anyway, so you don't need the doctor. So for all the things that we needed to do here, I needed to get my medical license renewed for my car, and that, like, the appointment was available next day. When we wanted to fix up our car, they were like, yeah, you can come in today.
Yeah, it was same day appointment. Also, something important when we moved here, when we needed a bank appointment, we just went to the bank and got appointment the next day, which is like without really a waiting time. Obviously, because all of the restrictions we have here, it's quite important to get things done, and we didn't have to wait that long.
Overall, it just feels like you have a lot more space for yourself. As you said, even in bus stops, there's going to be, what, 3 people? Yeah, the streets are less crowded. There's less traffic in the country. I barely feel like we get stuck in traffic, especially if you get out of the city. There's going to be 1 or 2 cars driving somewhere. So yeah, you definitely kind of enjoy being the underpopulated country because we have enough land here, but not that many people here.
And then the next thing on our list is that Latvia is actually very clean. As we have noticed from the city and living in the capital city right now, we have bins everywhere. People don't throw the trash around, and maybe if they do, we have the cleaners on the streets picking things up, cleaning up. It's like not very dirty, it's not very smelly. You're not gonna find a lot of trash around.
Yeah, because we had our fair share of traveling around a couple of countries, and you definitely notice, especially if you live there, that like the streets aren't as tidy here. And back in Scotland, I was shocked that I could not see street cleaners because I thought that's normal everywhere. And in Malta, there's barely, you cannot see them all the time, but we have them on schedules. Like every little city, every neighborhood, everyone has their own street cleaners, so that everything would be cleaner. And people in general just have the mentality not to throw trash and food on the streets and everything. So yeah, as you said, we have bins for that, so people are just like more clean, and you can definitely enjoy it.
Yeah, if we compare with Malta, then Malta has this thing where they leave trash on the street, and then depending on the schedule they will pick up in the evening or in the morning, but it can stay there for all day. And obviously in the heat it just makes a lot smellier and more like unpleasant to walk on those streets because it's dirty, because it's just like completely different from how our system is. And so we definitely appreciate that on our streets we don't have trash, and all the trash that we have is collected in the same place, and it has a real system.
I remember back in Scotland, specifically Glasgow, because we didn't travel a lot, but we used to start our work really early, and then in the weekends you definitely notice that people been outside because there's been food left everywhere, like takeout, beer bottles, beer glasses, everything. And then seagulls come to the city and start picking it up, and then you walk through seagulls and food trash, and it wasn't the best experience.
No, quite disgusting.
Yeah.
So we haven't noticed anything like that here. And obviously since we have a lot of nature, we have forests, we have like a rural places where you can go, we have nature paths where you can walk, and not that many trash around. It's like very maintained, and so it's really nice to be outside.
And that actually leads us to our number 6, which is we have a lot of nature benefits.
Yeah, some of them are not that obvious comparing to other countries. So in Latvia it's allowed for you to go in the nature and pick things from nature, like berries and like mushrooms.
If you just talk to the government and get a permit, you can actually collect your own firewood for yourself, or just one person's need, not for commercial use, but just for yourself. So that's also quite good.
We haven't tried this yet, but when we get our house, we will look into this, how it actually works. And if it really benefits us in this way, it would be really good. Also, you can fish here. For some things you need a license, for others you really don't. You can just like catch your own food. So in Latvia we actually find that it's easier to be self-sufficient because you have all these resources just lying around. What you need to do is just go and pick them up.
Yeah, you can actually get your own free water from springs, which is probably cleaner than the tap water that you're gonna drink in your apartments.
Oh, the spring waters definitely are cleaner than anything you can get from city or even bottled waters, so that's a good plus. They are very developed. There's actually like some sort of infrastructure where you can just drive your car, you can pick the bottles, it will just flow into like a pipe, so you just put your bottle under and fill it up, and then you have the water. So it's very convenient. And also, once you get the water, you can also pick some herbs. You can make your own tea. You can just go pick some mint or some other greens that you can combine, and then you will have free tea, which is amazing.
Yeah, also you can pick teas from tree leaves and stuff like that. Overall, it feels like in Latvia, that's something that we're looking into. We want to be more sustainable and self-sufficient, and the fact that even land is more affordable, there's a lot more land here, and you can buy it and start growing your own things, and there's either rivers or water sources around you, so it's definitely easier to try and be more sustainable here.
Another benefit that we wanted to mention is that Latvia has seasonal weather, so we have pretty decent summers and very cool, nice, snowy winters. And we are in one such winter right now, so we've seen a lot of snow, we've seen a lot of ice, and that brings us to something different from where we were in Malta or even into Scotland. So they did not have that big of a difference between those seasons.
Yeah, you can definitely see all 4 seasons here, and now we're impatiently waiting for springtime, and that's when all the snow melts and you can see that tree leaves start growing, grass is gonna grow, and there's flowers and stuff like that. Birds come back to Latvia. It's definitely springtime, and there's a lot more sun. So that's what we're waiting for right now. And after springtime, you can see how even the leaves change, the nature changes, and it becomes summer, and it's a lot hotter and definitely a lot more enjoyable than winter after you've been here for a couple of months. And then after summer, in middle of August, you start to feel a couple of cold days, and you're like, okay, yeah, it's autumn time, it's fall time. The leaves start becoming orange and change colors. The grass kind of falls down and becomes like
Dies back.
yeah, and then slowly there's a bit more rain, and then we have to go to Sigulda to watch leaves. So after that, yeah, there's more cloudy days, there's gonna be more rain, and you're like, yep, the autumn is changing into winter. So that's definitely something we missed.
Now, the other benefit for your day-to-day life is the food stores. First of all, they are a lot bigger here than in Malta, for example. We have all these huge supermarkets in every corner of the city, and in these shops we have a lot of promotions and a lot of discounts. So if you want to buy your food cheaper, you can always find a cheaper alternative. And we have mentioned this before, but for the fruits and vegetable, for example, they have like weekly offers on things, so you can maybe get different fruit and different food for your day-to-day meals.
There's always going to be something that's discounted, so you will go in, and even for our favorite crisps, so we choose the crisps of the week because that's the ones that are on discount, that's the ones we're gonna buy. And then we know, even though we like the other flavor, we're just gonna wait for next week because then it's gonna be on discount. So it's for everything. There's little cycles that every time you're gonna go to a shop, there's gonna be something that has a better discount, better deal, and then you grab those for this week. And if you're gonna go to a shop in next week or 2 weeks later, there's gonna be something else on the discount, so you can grab that a little bit more. And Latvia has all of these little loyalty cards in every single shop, restaurants, practically everywhere. You have to get these little cards, and you're gonna get even better deals and save money.
So grocery shopping can be a little bit like a treasure hunting. So even for the big shops and big chains, they have a discount on like a product groups, like for example Asian food, 30% off for the whole section, so you can just pick those things you would never buy. Like we bought a rice vinegar, for example, but you buy it once and you get the discount on it, and so you can use all year round. And they do it also on the milk products, on practically everything, coffee, teas. They just pick a section and they put like 30 or 40 or 50% off. And I think it's great because in Malta, when we bought food, we would always have the same price we would always have the same budget, and we would always come with the same things, and they would never be discounted. Maybe for a rare occasion when they are running out of the expiration date, they would pack them together, like 2 items, for example, two
crisps. Chocolate.
Yeah, like exactly. For most cases, 2 chocolate bars would just wrap together and sold as one price, but that would be as far as the discounts go.
You can also plan your shopping ahead, because all the stores send out these little newspapers of the best deals for next week. So I think we're quite old in that sense, but we check out best deals that's gonna be in that store, and we're like, yep, we could get that one, we could get that one, we could get that one, and then
we go and pick those things up. Like for Lidl, it's perfect because they give you this thing you can check online, and we just like take note of the things we want, and then we go and get them, and it works perfectly fine.
And then we're like, if we need something but not urgently, we're like, we're gonna wait another week when they're gonna give a discount to that one. I mean, I remember back in Scotland, they actually had some great deals as well. They would, as you said, the reduced stuff would be incredibly cheap, which was
Tesco, but the things that would go to expiration, like fresh vegetables and some bakery stuff, but they didn't have maybe as much of a discount. I think in Latvia we have this discount culture, and that's not even on exclusively on food. It's also on home appliances, the shops that sell, I don't know, couch and TVs and electronics. We have that there's a lot of offers going on.
Yeah, so there's gonna be the same as for foods. You're gonna have the Asian week, the Italian, Greek weeks, the electronic shops or like the big Home Depot shops will have all electronics 20% off for like next month, and then
bed sets.
Yeah, next week is gonna be gardening week. Everything 20% off or 50% off for gardening stuff. So if you plan your shopping, you can definitely get really good deals here.
Now we're approaching the end of this video, and one of the last benefits that we have here in Latvia is that we don't have any extreme weathers. So we don't experience much of the droughts, we don't experience much of the flooding, we don't have very extreme winds, and we pretty much have like very safe environment here.
Yeah, we don't have tsunamis or tornadoes or
earthquakes.
Exactly.
Nothing.
Like big wildfires or anything. It's quite a calm place, so you don't necessarily need insurance for your home or anything. Like, it's good to have it, but overall it's quite safe here.
Nature's treating us very well, so if you have worries about from other countries, they have water scarcity or they have very bad soil or anything like that. We don't have that, and so we don't have much floods that would ruin everything. I guess the most damage from the nature what we can get is some electricity loss every here and then from the winds, and sometimes it can take some trees down, but that's as extreme as it gets here.
And this is going to be our last one, and this is the fact that Latvia has joined European Union.
Yay!
It gives us a lot more options, even though we're from a small country, small kind of Eastern Europe country, but we're still in Europe and European Union. We can travel throughout Europe and live anywhere in Europe if we want. We have the Schengen zone, which means that we don't even need to, when we cross borders, we don't even need to show passports or anything. We just go through, which is quite convenient. So the fact that we can decide that we could live anywhere in Europe without having any difficulties is quite great.
Without European Union, we wouldn't even experience the things we can share here on this channel, because we would not be able to live in different countries, and we would just not be leaving this place. So as maybe simple it sounds, it actually entails a lot more privileges than other countries might have.
There's even a lot funding in Latvia from European Union. Latvia isn't the biggest and the richest country in the world. We don't have that much oil or natural resources for like to sell, except I think forests and wood. But
For wood, yes.
yeah, but overall, like we definitely are benefiting from the fact that we are part of European Union. Our roads are getting better, our infrastructure is getting better, housing is getting better, all salaries and everything is
all
getting...
the opportunities maybe what we get from living here, selling stuff to European Union and maybe buying stuff. It's just all these things that we don't notice on day-to-day basis makes our quality of life a lot better. And it's also a lot safer to live in a European Union because you don't have to worry about many things.
Yeah.
Russia. Well, hopefully this gives you a little insight on our perspective of the benefits of living in Latvia, and if you have more benefits that we didn't mention here, I'm sure there's a lot more. You can let us know and you can let everyone else know as well.
Should this be the end of the video?
I think this is the end of the video.
So if you guys like this one, you could leave some likes. If you want to follow our journey here in Latvia, you can subscribe, that would be great. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye.